Hi, this is Amy from Medical Motion, and this is the first of a series of gait analysis videos I'm going to post on our website and on our Facebook page. If there's one question we get asked on a very regular basis, it's how do you measure whether somebody is excessively pronating using our software? The most common way to determine this is by measuring the rear foot eversion angle, or the angle of the heel or the calcaneus with respect to the lower leg. So the best way to analyze this is by taking your video and scrolling to the point of mid-stance. Mid-stance is the point when you're going to see the two knees together. At this point is usually the point where the foot is in its most pronated position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a line that follows the two markers I have that determine the middle area of my calcaneus. Then I'm going to draw another line that follows the middle of the low leg. And then at the point where those two lines meet, I'm going to draw my angle. Using 2D motion analysis and with the margin of error in this type of software, I'd usually say anything more than 15 degrees would be considered excessive. So in this case, you'll see that this individual is showing quite an excessive rear foot eversion or pronation angle. There are other things that you probably want to look at when measuring this, because the question is why is she pronating to such a drastic extent? In some cases, it can be the foot structure itself. But this woman here, she actually had an extremely high arch. She had quite a rigid plantar flex first, right, but quite a lot of mobility in the subtalar joint. And the reason why this is happening is likely stuff going on higher up the chain. So at the point of mid-stance, what you're also going to see her do is if I measure the angle of what we call pelvic obliquity. So I'm going to measure the point of one hip joint to the other and just draw a line across. So this is my pelvic obliquity line. During running, we don't, especially with 2D motion analysis, anything more than 5 degrees is very excessive. And she is dropping to 10 degrees. So what's literally happening is her hip is giving out to the side. And then then her thigh will adduct inward, and her knee was actually medially rotating. In effect, her tibia will rotate medially and the foot would fall in. Another thing that she's doing, and another thing you can look for, is to see if they are crossover striking. So a very easy way to determine this, just draw a nice line down the middle of the heel. And then you can let the video run in slow motion and see if one heel is landing in front of or beyond. So as runners get faster, naturally their feet will come closer together. But if you ever see one foot crossing consistently over the other foot, so one heel, the middle part of one heel in front of the other, we know that this is quite significant. So why does this relate to pronation? Well, at the point where you see her strike, if she's striking all the way to the side over here, the only way to flatten her foot out is by having her ankle go through quite a large range of motion. So that crossover strike can actually be causing excessive pronation. So why are my conclusions that it's more related to higher level mechanics as opposed to the foot causing the rest? Well, if I take a look at her walking video, this is the same girl on the same day just before we took her running video, and we see her walking. You can see like her feet will not move. They extremely stiff, high arches. If anything, she supinates excessively. So during running, what's the difference? During running, when she's in this unstable atmosphere of running, jumping from one foot to the other, and the hips are giving out from side to side, that's where we see that excessive motion in the ankle. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at any time, and that's amy@medicalmotion.com.